You were at the luncheon. Tell us what you know.
Well, I wasn't there when I think it was a seizure, Jeff. I'm not sure that's a medical conclusion, but it looks like what it was. And it took a lot out of him. But I just tell you this, at the end, the doctors responded very, very quickly. A good team around him. Vicky, his wife, was there and obviously very familiar with his health condition and exactly what needed to be done. And after about 10 or 15 minutes, he was talking. He was, I think, quite frankly, he was sort of bellowing about not being taken away. I think they're down to the hospital. So my impression was at the end, without drawing any medical conclusions, he talked to me when I went out to the ambulance with him and said, "I'll see you a little later." And words to that effect. Sort of calmed down, but he seemed to be doing a lot better.
So just to be clear, by the time you saw him several minutes after this, there were no signs that he was in medical distress at that moment?
No, he was in distress. Clearly, he was still reacting to the seizure when I went into that room. But within a few minutes, he calmed down. They got oxygen into him, and I think an IV of some kind. And he seemed to be doing fine at that point, at least recovering. He was upset. He was obviously, I think, probably thinking about where he was. This was a tough day, a long day.
Now, there were reports about Senator Byrd, 91-year-old Dean of the Senate. Was it that he was emotionally overcome by what happened, or was he?
I think he was, yeah, clearly. They're very close, yeah.
But as far as you know, he did not have an independent medical.
No, to my knowledge, he did not. I don't know that anyway, but the people who at the table thought that he was Senator Byrd, he and Ted are two of the longest-serving members, have served here almost 40 years together, and he was reacting to Ted having the apparent seizure.
We know that when this first happened, in fact, at the Democratic Convention, Ted Kennedy pledged that he would be in Washington in January to fight, particularly, I think it was for health care. You've known this man a long time. He's obviously going through a very serious medical condition. What's your sense of whether he'll be on that hill fighting for health care?
I think he'll be there. There were meetings yesterday. He was with the old lion that he is, talking about what he wants to get done. I talked to him over the weekend. Planned on seeing him tomorrow, so very, very engaged in what he wanted to do. Conducted the hearings, the confirmation hearings of Hilda Solis and Tom Daschle. He was only going to stay a half an hour, ended up staying 3 hours apiece on both of them. So obviously this is a setback a bit for him, but I just want to tell you at the end of it, and if it were otherwise, I'd tell you, he was speaking, he was strong, he was not happy, he was being put on a stretcher there, or a gurney, take him out to the ambulance. And as he was getting in, I went up and talked to him and said, "I'll see you a little later." And I'm sure they'll take good care of him. But the best news is he sounded good and strong as he got into that ambulance.
All right. Senator Chris Dodd, we appreciate very much you coming by to talk to us. Thank you.